Thank you for those initial comments. I'll come back to you shortly. Let me also take the initial comments of Professor Quartey, who has joined the conversation as well. For you, when you look at how this DDEP has been executed, and we've come to this point, some had to be exempted, crucial among them, the individual bondholders, the pensioners. What do you see, and could we have handled the situation better to forestall some of the impact?
Yes, good afternoon to your students, viewers. I think the debt exchange program is a bitter pill that we will have to swallow, unfortunately, because we are in a boat that is sinking. And what do? Do you jump out of the boat, or you help to steer the boat to safety before you start pointing, accusing fingers at who caused it and all that? So that point has to be made. I also think that the process could have been handled a bit better because if you look at the consultations and consensus building process, one, the timing was too short. Two, we didn't consult widely enough, and that led to a lot of the agitation that we saw. If we had done all the background consultation, including even undertaking some market survey or research, that would have informed us as to who to bring on board and who not to, and how much we'll be saving. And I'm sure the agitations that we see could have been minimized significantly. We all know that the financial market doesn't like noise. And therefore, when you're doing this, you ought to come out clearly without any hesitation and know exactly who you are targeting. Otherwise, if we leave the market with these kinds of noise, it might lead to some irrational or rational behavior, depending on how you put it. People will react because, for lack of information, they will react in a certain way. We've seen some panic withdrawals during the process. We have seen some kinds of movements and agitations and picketing and all that. So I believe that the process was not handled properly. There is something a bitter pill will have to bite as an IMF conditionality. There's no two ways about it. But there are, of course, the other things, fiscal discipline and some of the expenditure rationing, and then also restructuring our economy. These are all parts of the package that we ought to do. But we could have handled the debt exchange in a much more consensus building manner, in a much more transparent manner, and we could have achieved better results. But I must conclude that we've come a long way, and I'm quite impressed by how many people have, or how much we have even backed, how the proportion of people who sign on. Because initially, with all the agitations, I was very concerned, and I thought we might not even come this far. So it's good, but we shouldn't go out there and jubilate. We should work towards signing on to the program and getting macro stability, getting confidence restored by economy.